Today, the world pounced on reports from Gaza police that Israel had bombed a hospital. Okay, that's pretty bad, right? That's evil. Except there's no real context here. It's just Israel bombs hospitals. And we should condemn people who are bombing hospitals. Except there's one little problem. Is there any context to this story? Every single little opportunity, as if this nation the size of New Jersey could possibly oppress the billions of Muslims who surround them. Hamas continues to break ceasefire agreements and rain down thousands of rockets on Israeli civilians. We also showed you the videotape taken from the IDF of the hospital, of the schools. We showed you that they did an infrared scan to see, is there anybody in there? Yet Israel gets the blame and they get the horrible headlines. I showed you last week how Hamas cowardly hides their stockpiles behind civilian targets. This weekend in TheBlaze, there was a story about how they uncovered next to children's cribs bombs from Hamas. The great pains that Israel goes through to make sure that they hit only terrorist targets, but they can't do that all the time. It's war. Those things are rarely reported. Instead, we just go right for Israel bombs hospitals. What? And then into another heroic freedom flotilla for Gaza. That's what's being prepared now in Turkey, the same place the last freedom flotilla sailed back in 2010. We were together at Fox, and I took an awful lot of heat for pointing out the freedom flotilla. In fact, I was the only one. There is no national voice that I trust that is going to be telling the truth about what's happening on this freedom flotilla. I remember how much heat I took to not stop pounding that story because nobody else was telling you the story. The world now, luckily, remembers that event, at least you do, in the context of truth. But the world looks at this as Israeli aggression and violence because that's what the world showed on television.